Studying ninjutsu is studying the path of the immovable heart. It's not about assassins and it's not about ways of killing people. It's the way of finding your connection with nature and learning your own nature and other people's nature. They say that detained within the Tenchi Jin, the ninja, the teacher's manual, is the method for opening up a person on every level of their being, physically, mentally, and spiritually, connecting them with heaven, earth, and man. And all of the studies are around the Tenchi Jin. Tenchi Jin means heaven, earth, and man. If someone's looking or chasing ninjutsu or the path of the ninja, thinking that they're going to be an assassin, and they're really missing what it's all about. It's about developing that immovable heart. It's about developing yourself. Okay, so just hit the highway and heading out to Melbourne, the reservoir, to do the last day of the editing and sound effects for the Infinite Ways DVD. The reason I'm in the car doing this is because basically just trying to find time, not having the time to sit down and film these properly in between doing work and teaching and all the other things that go along with everyday life. So having to do this in the car on the run. So I apologise for the crudity of it. I redefined my purpose as helping people raise awareness of themselves, their inner strength, their consciousness, connection with the universe, and how we're working with nature, and wanted to do that through a hero, teacher, role model character. When I was younger, I was very lucky. I had mentors and I had role models and heroes to help guide me, teach me morals, respect, integrity, sticking up for other people. Movies were always very important to me. I grew up watching superheroes with Superman, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, all those sorts of movies where at the end, as a kid, you want to run out and you want to be just like those heroes. So what I've done with the ninja movie is rolled it all into one. What we're trying to do with the film is just provide that, a teaching role model for young kids. Hopefully it'll be a character that kids can look up to and the kids can want to be just like. We'll do that in an entertaining way. We'll do it in an action film, similar to the way that Star Wars hit all the guidance of the Force and the wisdom from Yoda and that sort of stuff. It gets through to people on another level. They're getting teachings, but they're getting taught in a way that they're enjoying it as well. They're looking up to these characters and these heroes and they're wanting to be like them. When we shot the prelude, the main idea behind that was to be there for someone, through extreme circumstances, just to be there as a friend and to say, hey, I'm here, I'll help out. What we got to do with the prelude was to show that we could put a story together and make some characters on pretty much a zero budget. We shot the entire thing on $300. We had cars getting shot up, helicopters, action scenes, car chases. Obviously none of us got paid for doing it, and there was a lot of favours called in and free work, but it shows what can be done with little to no dollars, and that we can put a story together. Infinite Ways gave us the chance to really showcase the fighting style and focus on all the inner elements of what we're doing with ninjutsu. And that's something that I really wanted to push through. It came clear after the prelude that that was another element that we could focus on and show, and really needed to show just how different authentic ninjutsu is, and other spiritual elements and that sort of stuff. If people are just watching the physical side of things, they're missing the most important lessons. Our budget pretty much covered the cost of the uniforms for the SWAT guys and the location and a little bit of catering so you can feed everyone because they're working for free. I knew this time around I was going to have to be in really good shape. There was 9 fights to shoot in the space of 8 hours, so we were essentially shooting a fight less than every hour, so with no break. And they were all multiple attackers, so there was always 3, 4 against 1. So I went and I had a look at the 300 program, what the guys did when they were filming the 300 movie with the Spartan Warriors. I began doing that same training. It's reps of 50, there's no rest, you're moving from one exercise to another. For me, it came through at the right time. We shot the prelude in 2010, and for me, 2011, after some personal things that sort of happened to me, went off on a self-discovery sort of journey. So I spent a year, I studied Reiki, 2 different types of Reiki, became a Usui Reiki master and a Kundalini Reiki master, became a Kujiin master as well. So I really went focusing on inner energies and just developing awareness and spiritual awareness and discovery of self. That's when going into 2012, I really gave me such a definite purpose of this is what I want to do with film and with ninjutsu, is I want to help people raise their awareness of themselves. All of my studies were, ninjutsu-wise, were coming around the study of nature and the immovable heart. So developing this fudo shin, studying shinen fudoru, which one of the elements is the immovable heart. You know, so you're developing that physically, mentally, and spiritually. And you know, what is it mentally? What is perseverance, and what is the ability to keep going? You know, in adversity when it doesn't look like you know, there's much of a forward and this sort of stuff. So it was a very powerful year for me, 2011. A lot of learning, a lot of growth, a lot of pain as well, a lot of heartache, and pushing through it, and the learning and the growth that came from that. I look back and I can see why it was there. At Christmas time, 2011, we decided while we wait for the last of the finance to come through for the film, we're really going to just get those hero teachings out there. Just start inspiring people and just start getting them to look and raise that awareness of themselves, understanding themselves. It's powerful stuff. It's life-changing stuff. You know, all the superficial stuff fall away. If you're in the acting business because you want to be famous, there's quicker ways to get famous. You know, I say, why don't you just go naked and go rob a bank? And I'm sure you'll be famous very soon. You have to work out what you stand for. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. I love that saying. You've got to assess why you're doing things. So, right, okay, if someone's crying in every scene they're acting in, you've got to ask themselves why. You know, what's your purpose? And that purpose needs to be bigger than yourself. So my purpose is to help people raise awareness of themselves. I'll do that through film, and I'll do that through ninjutsu. Just help them discover themselves. And then you're going beyond. You're going beyond that physical stuff. Going beyond superficial stuff. You know, finding out what really matters, taking a look, helping people, doing what you can. Try to carry everything over into 3 ways: physically, mentally, and spiritually. It was interesting because from the prelude we got to carry over the mental darkness. The prelude left the character where he had helped out a long time friend, and essentially it was turned against him. So in infinite ways what we got to explore was the character showing up by the signs or the events in the universe and paying attention to those signs that were showing up. And then being in that physically dark place and also being in a mentally dark place. The hero had to face elements of, do I help out again? Who is this person? It's a stranger. Why get involved? And all these sorts of elements. And this is where the true nature of self gets to emerge. When you've got those 2 factors working against you, they really can work into that spiritual element. So, you know, your spirituality can be down just the why bother or the why get involved, who am I to help out? These are common things that are carrying over at the same time in the real world, seeing the impact of how that affects someone, but how it affects everyone. Those that don't want to get involved and help out, those that do get involved and help out, both sides of the story. So when I started exploring it, what became clear in infinite ways was we were talking about how does someone recover? How does a victim recover after this situation? I mean, films look at heroes and they look at villains. You know, who's the superhero? Who's he up against this time? There's always that forgotten element of the person that needs the hero, the person that the villain's trying to affect. How does someone come back from that? What's the emotional side effects? What's the mental side effects? What's the recovery time? And that's kind of a forgotten element. That's one of the drivers behind doing this and just paying attention. I mean, it really raised my awareness after that. Just that, hang on a minute. Even in the physical world, I was reading an article recently in one of the local papers just saying how extensive the time can be for someone to recover from, you know, a situation, a physical situation or a mental situation. There's a lot of people out there getting bullied. There's a lot of people in bad home situations where there's abuse going on, physical abuse, emotional abuse. The emotional abuse is probably the one that a lot of people, you know, are missing out on because it's an unseen element again. Just to see what's in the person's belief system or in their programming after that event. It does shape your outlook and it does shape the way you respond to situations. You come back to taking a look at things like good and evil or right and wrong and what is truth, because essentially it comes back to perception. Situations are really what define us. Everyone in a situation has a choice, and that's a pure element, that Q2 element coming in and just being responsible for yourself. In whatever situation, no matter how dark or, you know, uncomfortable or how much the odds are against you, we have that choice. We've got that choice whether we can stand up and rise as a hero, or we've got that choice whether we can do the wrong thing, you know, try and justify that choice to ourselves. Or we can let that whole situation beat us and do nothing. You know, you can be defeated physically, you can be defeated mentally, you can be defeated spiritually. Those chances and those choices we make, they are what define us. Perhaps this is where that immovable heart gets the chance to, you know, to emerge. Just that inner strength, that little voice inside that says, get up, keep going, do the right thing. So they're like benchmarks, they're like tests in a way. When we look at a QG3 element, total riding the energy, you start to review, bad thinking or negative thinking, or you review your own belief system and see what's there. It's a powerful experience, it's a very confronting experience, and it's a very scary experience. Scary because you begin to realise, or you can begin to see control dramas or ways that you're trying to steal energy or manipulate energy, and also starting to see that in the way that other people are doing those sorts of things. It can be very humbling at times, but it certainly is self-discovery and self-evolution, self-growth, self-awareness are the biggest lessons out there. Everyone is focusing on the physical, it seems, these days. They're chasing the next paycheck, or they're chasing the fastest car, or the best clothes, because perhaps they're seeing them as ways that people are being measured by what is success. Having $1 million, having a big house and the rest of it, or is it having a loving family, or going out and helping a stranger, those sorts of things. So success, maybe it's not measured by the physical, maybe it's measured by your actions or what you're judged. I know for myself, when it's the end of the day for me, I don't want it to say on my grave or on my tombstone that, here lies Rob Baard, he always wore expensive shoes. I'd much rather it said, here lies Rob Baard, he helped some people. He made a difference. Be about more than something than yourself. And that's a selfless element, perhaps. Define your purpose, define what you're about, define the why. What are you doing here? Why are you here? Learn about yourself. All of that really fit in with what was going on with Infinite Ways, which was about the unseen, and it was about being in a dark place and being able to stay true to your heart, being true to your real self, your true self, which comes back to the ninja's alignment of the immovable heart, or Fudoship, which you'll see in Infinite Ways. We start defining what is a hero when it comes to this sort of stuff. Making these films has defined that much more for me, because you begin to think, am I doing the right thing, and what is the right thing? This is that perception stuff again. I went back and had a look at a lot of stuff that Christopher Reeve was talking about, because when he did the first Superman film, there was a lot of research he did himself personally as to what is a hero, why does someone help, and he defined a hero as a friend, and that's all anyone can be, a friend. They can just be there when someone needs them. People also need to want help. You can't jump in and fix stuff for someone that doesn't want it, which is sometimes a very hard thing, speaking from experience. Sometimes the best help you can give is just to stand next to the person and just saying, I'm here, everything's going to be okay. If you need anything, let me know. Letting them make the decisions that they think will help them. I'll never turn a blind eye when I see someone who is in danger, or if someone is trying to affect them in a negative way. If your intention is pure, you're always doing what you feel is right at the time, and that's all you can really go by. So you have to stick by your intention. The Ninja Infinite Ways was about being in that dark place, physically, mentally, spiritually, just finding that something, that intention, that pureness in the heart that says, I can't turn away, I can't let this person clearly needs help. It's a situation where something needs to be done. Because at the end of the day, everyone would hope that in your moment of need, there'll be someone there that says, don't worry, I'm here, I'll stick by you. Hopefully these films, the ninja movies, can inspire people to do that, to stand up, to discover themselves, to find themselves, put others first, bring back morals, bring back respect, honesty. The world really is in need of real heroes. What I say by real heroes isn't the ones out there in the costumes. Real heroes are the firemen. Real heroes are, social workers. Real heroes are mums and dads, that are sacrificing things for their kids so they can have the best life possible. One of my best friends, both his children were born hearing impaired, and his sacrifice, watching him sacrifice so much for his family, putting himself last, putting the kids first, that's a real hero, and that's inspirational stuff. That's the stuff that heroes are made of. And that's what the feature film's about. That's all anyone can do. The feature film is called The Ninja He Will Rise. Because again, it's about us all rising up. It's about going through tough times. It's about assessing yourself. It's about looking at things you've done, or maybe feeling like you don't have enough strength. It's about in those tough times, when you're down and out, finding the courage or finding the guts to get up, take on the shot and give it a go.